Hey everyone, welcome back to Chewing the Fat with the Hungry Hussey. I appreciate you stopping in. Hey, today got a really awesome guest. Got Tommy from Gallery Backyard Barbecue, as well as maybe a new channel. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. He has a new channel, but yeah, we're going to talk about Tommy, his journey, maybe what he used to do, some favorites, all that kind of good stuff. He's a pretty unique person. We are very happy to have Tommy on the channel. Tommy, thanks for being here, buddy. Well, how's it going, man?
I appreciate it, man. It's going good, man. It's going
Yeah,
good.
I hear you're busy, right?
It's busy, man.
Yeah.
You know, as you mentioned in the beginning, I did start a second channel, and so I do run two channels, but I also run a Facebook group, and I do it all myself. You know, I'm retired, so it's full time. Excuse me. That's a cat. And no,
That's all right.
I don't cook the cat.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So yeah, it's going good. I'm having a lot of fun. Having a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Whenever people say it's like, isn't it work? I was like, yeah, it's work, but I tell you, it's fun work. You
You
know,
know,
it's really fun.
I think I've given a lot of thought to this. I think it becomes a drag to people who don't have a general knowledge of food and recipes. You can only wing this for so long. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Before
Like
you're
you
kind of
can
exposed. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
exactly.
I
Anybody
don't
could
know if this
read.
jack leg knows. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody could read a recipe online and work a camera, but after 2, 3 years, 4 years, if you
They're
don't
on
have
to you.
that general knowledge, man, it becomes a drag.
They're on to you. Yeah. Next thing you know, it's like, man, I'm spending a lot of time on this.
I mean,
Well, yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, again, we appreciate you being on, taking some time out.
mhm.
It's always a pleasure. I know I've been on your live before. You do lives, and we'll get into that kind of stuff a little bit later on. But so let's talk about background, right? I know you said what we were just kind of talking about is if you don't have background or know what you're doing, that's you kind of get exposed. But for those of you that don't know Tommy, tell us a little bit about your story, how you got started, where you from, what
Mhm.
inspired you to get started, just all things about Tommy. What tell us
Cool.
about that, bro?
All right, so I'm from New Jersey.
Jersey.
You'll be able to pick that up in my funny accent, I guess. So
It makes two of
basically,
us.
yeah, there you go. There you go. So basically, I mean, I grew up in the restaurant business. My mother owned first a diner, but then the Gallery restaurant in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Hence, that's where I got my name from, kind of like an homage to her. But she used to take me to work at 5, 6 years old, and I would sit there with a bunch of canned goods and just kind of stock the shelves. From there, I went to the dishwasher, messing around, probably 13, 14, and then I became the dishwasher. And from there, I went and worked the flat top, which was probably the flat top was probably 82, something like that. And I worked this flat top for a couple years, and from there I went where it was, was a line cook, worked right under the chef. So it's pretty much in my blood.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's pretty awesome. So they had it's probably kind of like a like a Waffle House kind of flat top. Now did
Well,
they have other things too? Was it like a? You said it was a diner, but it went to something else. Is that
so yeah, so the diner was before I came
okay?
aboard. It was the Gallery restaurant was more gourmet, but the flat top I started at breakfast. Excuse me, for lunch. So lunches. So
Gotcha,
I would work the
gotcha.
lunch crowd and a lot of things from your Monte Cristos and
Yeah,
omelets or frittatas were big back then. A lot of those things were cooked on the flat top. So I worked the griddle, probably for about 2 years before I went to the dinner time and worked the saute station and like I said, right under the chef.
yeah. So that was the lunch crowd. So what was like their what was like that what was like that one thing you had to have when you went to when you went to the gallery?
So now look, the times were different back then. I think I'm a little older than you are.
Nah,
Yeah.
man. We're all 25,
Yeah,
bro.
there you go. So back then, before the country became more health
Yeah,
conscious, it was a lot of picadas, scampi's, a lot of sauce oriented type dishes, fried Diablo, stuff like that. You go to the restaurants today and like your chicken marcellas and your picatas aren't really big. Back then in the 80s, we're talking, probably lower 80s, 83, 84, the picatas and marcellas, they were in every restaurant. Scampi, shrimp scampi. Those were your top dishes. And of course, New York strip. I don't even know if ribeyes were even on the menu back in the late 70s and early 80s.
Well, I know
It was New
growing
York
up, we
strip
didn't
and
have much
filet.
ribeyes. Ribeyes weren't not even talked about in our house because
No.
we didn't have a whole lot of money. It was sirloin.
Okay.
Sirloins was
Yeah.
our steak of
Sirloins,
choice.
which is basically, the sirloin would be the New York strip back then.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. What's cool was, and one reason why I wanted to ask that was, I think it's pretty cool what we used to have or what was kind of popular back then. I'd always had this like thought about, on my channel, it could be great on your, like remaking, like this is recipes of the 80s or whatever, right? This was popular in 1980. This was popular at, my mom's restaurant, and just remaking that to kind of go back to
Yeah.
your roots or something like that. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Like open up a, what was it? What's that? I can't think of the cookbook name. It was like a checkerboard,
Yeah.
cookbook, like flipping a page,
Yeah. I
flipping a
know
page, like, all right,
exactly.
this
I
is
know.
what we're making today.
I think it was Betty Crocker.
Betty Crocker. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know the cookbook you mean.
Yeah.
That was a
And I
popular
mean,
cookbook back then.
like just flipping it over. This is the
Yeah.
video. I'm going to take this thing off the shelf. I'm going to flip it, and whatever I go, that's what I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And I always thought that would be a pretty cool idea. And hopefully it didn't land on something crazy like I don't know,
Goulash.
possum or something.
Yeah. I actually made a couple of my mom's recipes on my newer channel because
Yeah.
again, that's the griddle. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
actually have done that. But again, the time now is different. So
Yeah.
doing a chicken marsala. You may know I haven't done it yet on my channel, but it's not going to get the views as
Yeah.
some of the other grilled cheese hot dogs or some jazz like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later on. Just talk about the machine and things like that.
Mhm.
But and kind of what I'm doing. But well, that's awesome. I didn't know that it's your mom. I always wondered where Gallery. I never really thought,
Yeah.
never thought to ask. We've talked a few times,
Mhm.
and I never thought. That's pretty interesting.
Mm.
I love the stories. The stories. This is one reason why I want to do podcasts is find out more about somebody, and
Yeah.
and their story. Everybody's got a story.
Sure. So it's kind of funny because so I haven't. I know I got some on my wall. I may have some right here. I don't want to move too much. My camera will follow me. A cousin of mine reached out to me and said they saw a gallery matchbook from my mom's restaurant on eBay.
Advertisements. Yeah.
So I did some searches and found like 6 or 7 old matchbooks from the late 60s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s of my mom's restaurant on eBay for sale, the matchbook. So I
Yeah.
started collecting them, so that was pretty cool to
That
see,
is cool. Yeah. So you got some,
something
huh?
like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had some experience. So
Mhm.
you grew up in the restaurant industry.
Pretty much.
You went to you had to go. You were that kid that was over in the booth,
I was that kid.
coloring and stuff like that. Yep.
I was definitely that kid.
You were that guy. Yeah. So moving on a little bit, so what was that moment or that dish that you cooked? Either it was on the line or maybe when you moved up to more of the finer dining that you thought, man, I like doing this. I love this. Is it or what or did that come later on?
So there's only 2 things that I know how to do. Okay, I know how to put floors in, linoleum, woods, laminates, stuff like vinyl, planking, and cooking. Those are the 2 things that I know how to do. Cooking is just in my blood. I mean, when me and my wife first got going, and I've been married like 35 years. She used to work two jobs just so we can afford the house. We just had a baby, and she would come home and I would cook every night. You know, cooking is never a drag for me to cook. You know, so the one
Never,
dish,
never,
I'm telling you, man, never, man,
never. I'm gonna tell you
never.
what. Last night, I mean, there's just sometimes I'm like, y'all honest, and people gonna probably hate me for this or not hate me, but they're gonna throw shade. I mean, we cook hamburger helper sometimes, Tommy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hate me if you don't. But
I'm down.
my kids love it; they eat it. Mason loves it, but there's some nights, man. I'm just like, if I gotta do this one more dang time, because I do the same thing. I'm the cooker in the family, and I like it. I do love it. I
Uh,
show my love with food. But some days, bro, my tank's empty.
well, now to be fair, let me clean this up a little bit now.
Okay.
So now that I don't cook for us anymore. So if I had to do the show and cook and then clean up and then cook dinner for her coming home from work, that would probably wane on me.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I cook during the day, I'll save for at night.
Sure.
Or we go out to dinner a lot because I'm retired.
Yeah.
So I'm not double cooking ever.
Gotcha.
So, when I'm cooking in this house now,
Yeah.
it's for the show.
Well, I feel a little bit better about
Yeah.
myself now, Tommy.
Yeah.
So at
And you
first you
have
made me
young
think
kids.
yeah, man, I tell you, there's this, still full time job,
Yeah.
and then we have, both kids are in some kind of ball,
Yeah.
I'm
It ain't,
coaching both teams,
it ain't
I'm
easy.
assistant coaching both teams. And it's like, y'all, we're gonna have to go by somewhere. Chick-fil-A's gonna have to do the
Tell
cooking
you.
tonight for me.
Tell
So
you. It ain't easy.
but 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 yeah, I didn't mean to railroad you there, but that
Yeah.
just kind
No.
of I was like, dang man, what a man. So
Yeah.
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I
No.
get it. All right. Where was we were just yeah. What kind of sparked you to say, man, I like doing this? I think that's where we was at.
So, as far as like, you mean starting the YouTube channel up or just,
Yeah, well, just like I love cooking. Like for me, it's like that's kind of how I show my love a little bit. That I like cooking. That's my love. If I love you, I'm gonna cook for you. Mainly it's just what was that thing or that dish that says I love cooking. Not so much the creating and
yeah.
videoing, but right
Okay.
now it's just like you either love it or you don't. So people
Okay.
just don't like cooking.
So chicken marsala, a veal piccata, and shrimp scampi. Those are probably the three dishes that I used to make all the time way back when I can afford it. The chicken marsala is easy. Veal was expensive, but not like it is today. But those were probably the three fancy dishes that I would cook at home that I'm sure other people weren't, you know.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
the gallery, my mother, we used to make a dish. It was called Goya. I've made it on my channel before, but it is basically filet mignon, potatoes and onions, but the filet gets doused in pepper and crushed black pepper, and it's cooked on a high heat, like 600 degrees on a quick sear. It has to be served like rare to medium rare at the most, but it's cooked really fast on a saute pan. I used to work when I was in the game, I would work, you know, 10, 15, 20 saute pans with Marcellas, Scampis, everything going, man. And it major
Yeah.
rush. Probably when I knew like, wow, I mean, I got, 30, 40 dupes up on the board and I'm working sautés and, moving and moving. Everything is right there. You got your bus boys. They're always bringing stuff to you. Major rush. That's when I probably really knew that, man, I love this because I
Yeah.
can do it. I was good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a special person to be able to multitask,
Yeah,
all those things.
yeah,
A lot of people don't understand what goes on behind those kitchen doors.
yeah.
Man, it's those people. There's a bunch of skill to that, and
A lot of skill.
yeah, when the restaurant I worked in too. I mean, it was taxing, and at the end of the night, you were just kind of like, whew, you're
Yeah,
drained. But you're right; it is a rush to
yeah.
just to when you're rolling. Tickets are coming in. You're just getting it, getting at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours, man, you are just banging out.
Yeah. It's like, where'd the time go? It's like all of a
Yeah.
sudden, 2, 3, 4 hours and went by. So then
Yeah.
you
And
got
of
to clean
course,
up.
it helps. Everything is prepped for, everything's already prepped beforehand. So the sauces, the stocks are already made. So the wine is right there for some of the sauté dishes. So, everything is right there. It's not like cooking at home where,
Yeah.
you got to stop and now chop onions. All that stuff is all pre-prepped,
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of turning around, and banging dupes out.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
fun. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What's a dupe?
So a dupe is what the order gets written on.
I
We would
got you.
call that a dupe here.
Instead of a ticket, it's a dupe.
Yeah, it's a dupe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, a little restaurant talk for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Hey,
86. If something was 86th, you know that?
Nixed, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Nix it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what we call that. What do we call that? Throw that crap away. I don't know what
Yeah,
we
yeah.
say
And then
here.
the last one would be, get the F out of the kitchen.
Yeah. The waitress back there. Get.
It'll be ready when it's up.
Yeah. How much longer? But like, I told you. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Stuff,
man.
man.
I tell you,
A
some
lot of
waitresses,
chefs,
boy.
a lot of chefs, I've worked under quite a few of them, and not all of them, and I certainly don't know the chefs today, but a lot of back then in the '70s, they all drank, man. They all
Yeah.
drank.
I
Lot of
think it's the
drug
same.
use,
Yeah.
it was,
Drinking, cussing, smoking.
yeah.
Don't know what they're smoking, but maybe all of the above. But yeah, it's probably it's a stressful job though.
It is. I could never have stayed married for 35 years if I continued to work in a kitchen. It just brings bad things.
Yeah.
At least the scene that I was in, the waitresses, you're getting done with dinner service at 12 o'clock at cleanup. It's 12 o'clock. You want to go out for a drink. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got the waitresses and,
Yeah.
it's not a good scene for a healthy marriage, I don't think. Maybe
It's
different
not.
now. Maybe different
Yeah.
now, but,
Yeah. I think a lot of restaurants and and people, especially with mental health things, the way there's more awareness with mental health now. I
different
think
time.
I think restaurants are just saying, hey, we're closing at 8 o'clock and
Yeah.
or whatever, and I like it. I'm all for it, man, because
Yeah.
I don't know how people did it back then. I don't know how they lived lives. It was just,
Crazy,
yeah, well, it's crazy. Yeah.
crazy, crazy.
Oh man. Well, this is already starting off pretty good.
Yeah.
Really enjoying this. A little bit of background. Looks like your restaurant background, laid flooring. That's kind of, well, let's go to that. I mean, you laid floor. That was your gig for the longest time, right?
Yeah, so I left the restaurant business again, just to lean back. It was tough. I got married, I had a kid. It's just, if you're in the restaurant business, you're working weekends, you're working night times, you're working
Yeah.
holidays. Not something I want to do. So my other fallback was flooring. So I started running flooring, my whole life. More flooring than restaurant.
Yeah.
I did
Well, you
that
were
up
that kid that was in that booth, like I said earlier, and you probably didn't want that for your family either.
Yeah.
You witnessed it, and you're like, I probably had a great time, had a great upbringing, but there's better, right?
Not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in, there's a plan for everyone. I'm a very positive person. And so I believe the restaurant and all that jazz in the beginning brought me to exactly where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer we are all right where we're supposed to be. And I'm very much into making my own reality, my thoughts to my reality of what I'm doing right now. I'm not a negative thinker. I feel I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I can
Negativity.
get deep, but I'll just keep it there.
Yeah, no. Negativity and is a life sucker, man.
I see it all the time. I mean, look, we're not gonna
Positivity is good. It's contagious,
yeah.
but it's not as contagious as negativity.
I mean, look, we're not going to talk politics. Obviously, that's this ain't the
No.
place. but I
I'm just saying,
still-
just mindset.
Yeah, I
just
still
a mindset.
see people posting election stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
Yeah.
people. It's 2 weeks ago. We move
Yeah.
on. It's
It's bigger than us. It's
of
bigger than
course, man.
us.
Enjoy your life. I've got a couple friends that are big Trumpers, and I try to tell them that, and they've lost friendships over it. And I try
Yeah.
to tell them, when you pass away, he's not, or no politician is coming to your funeral. So you're blowing friendships over really people that don't care about you
They don't
personally.
know you. They don't know
It's
you.
just like, come on, people, man. This is your one life, man. What are you doing?
It's with anything, you know, anything with you're trying to do the greater good of everybody. And that's not going to make everybody happy, And at the end of the day, I always I want to be known, whenever somebody's giving some kind of eulogy for me, hopefully somebody might
Yeah.
say something nice. But they say, yeah, I mean, this guy, he was great. I needed him. He was there for me. He was a man of his word, man of integrity, you know what I'm saying? And, man of God, that kind of thing for me, right? It's just like, man, I don't want to be known as somebody crazy. I just want to be a good person. And then, you just got to play your hand that's dealt to you sometimes. And that's what it all boils down to. Just being a good person. Don't be a jerk,
There's an old saying. There's an old saying that is so true for every human being, is that you're only one thought away from changing your life. And if you really think about that, it is so true. If I left my house in the morning, you motherfucker, just nasty, and it's just like, what am I doing? You're
Yeah.
only one thought of changing your life, and if people would just nail on to that, they would change everything.
Yeah. Positivity. There's
Positivity,
power
man.
in positivity.
So much power. Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, these are some people that I have followed, and I used to meditate a lot. I used to be into a lot of that stuff, and I've laid some really good groundwork.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think if you reflect on things, meditate on things, prayer,
Mm.
is
Prayer,
big on me. I
sure,
know whenever I don't pray as much, I'm not as good.
sure,
And I
sure.
think that's a form of meditation for me.
Yeah,
It may not be for everybody, but this is me. I know that when I start being not so great, what I'm thinking much to myself, I'm like, yeah, you haven't done this enough,
hmm,
and I think it keeps you grounded. Sometimes I
sure.
do. Yeah,
And that's the way we should bring our kids up. That's the way
I
we should bring
try.
our
That's
kids up.
I think all the time. I'm just trying to raise a good human
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and they're going to make mistakes. Lord knows I know, but at the end of
You
the
know,
day, I hope that they can act on that and own up to their mistake.
so your two biggest guidelines to follow would be, like you said, the church prayer, if that's where you are, or to be spiritual, to be grounded and in touch with yourself and living in the now. Those are really the only two roads that I know that you can take, for complete
Yeah,
happiness.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is what
I
I
agree.
feel anyway. For
Yes, sir.
everyone is different, and I'm certainly not a preacher, and I'm certainly no angel. I mean, if you want to talk about, the '70s,
Yeah,
I've done it all.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I always believed in the greater good of kindness and positivity and stuff like that.
yeah. I've never known of anybody trying to be the best that they can be to be a bad thing.
Yeah, no,
If you try to be positive, yeah, I mean, we're all going to slip up. We're all human. But in the greater things, if you're practicing to be good, I don't know what bad can really come out of
yep,
it. So,
yep,
but well, dang, we went off on a little bunny trail, and that's all
yeah.
right.
There you
That's
go,
what I
man.
love. That's what
I
I
bet you
love, dude.
ain't none of these podcasts that you do are going to go off in this direction.
No, no. That's why I just want to. If we go off on a bunny trail, I got a little bit of a
Yeah. Hey,
script.
and if somebody catches a little something of it and decides to change their life by changing
That's
their
right.
thought process,
Yep.
one person, it's
Yep.
all good.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody might change for the better. You never know. If we can reach one person, that's a
Why
positive, right?
not? Why not?
Yep. Well, let's go. Let's talk about being a creator a little bit here. You're a creator, content creator around food, just as I am, and we're all different. And that's one reason why I love this podcast. So let's talk about getting started. Your love for cooking, you love cooking, you love cooking for your family. It's in your blood. What made you decide to start creating content? And did you always think about sharing this
Yeah.
with the world? I mean, we're reaching everybody right now,
Yeah.
right? So
So I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it probably was before COVID, right before COVID, maybe 2018, 2019. I want to say it was either Troy, T. Roy,
T-Row Cooks,
or
or yeah,
Mike
yeah,
or Mike from Everyday Barbecue. I forget
okay,
which one of those people it was, but I think I was probably looking for a recipe and just came across one of their videos and just looked at it and said, I can do that.
yeah,
And I just it's you hear it all the time, and it's no lie. I just grabbed my cell phone and made the worst friggin' video that, any creator could possibly worth. I mean, I don't even think I kept it up. I think I put it in private,
yeah,
and I just started filming, not knowing where it would go.
yeah,
Okay. And to pinpoint back that I think I touched on living in the now and everything happens for a reason and this, that, and the other. I'm not sure that I would be sitting here talking to you if COVID didn't happen. Okay. Because when COVID hit, my views started going up.
yeah,
And for the first time, I started making money.
yeah,
Okay. Not a lot of money, but money. I actually made the most money during COVID just from YouTube. Okay. My money started going up, and I said to my wife, I said, I think I can do this for a living, you know? So I continued to do good. My videos got better. I put into it, I'm probably 100 plus videos in, probably already got 2 years plus under my belt before COVID hit, and started making money, started doing it, and then came to the conclusion that I'm older than you. I'm 62. Okay, just to fill in that gap. Came to the conclusion that I'm going to retire from my job and do this full time. Now, the
yeah,
funny thing is, when COVID stopped,
yeah,
all my views went down, right?
right,
Because
yeah.
everybody was home watching cooking videos during COVID because everything was closed, But I was in a good spot because my wife works, she makes good money, we had savings, so I just worked and built up to where I am today. But that's basically how I got started and have been going ever since.
So you started a little bit after I did. I started like 2016, I think, is whenever I started.
Yeah, so probably a little bit after you. I'm thinking
So
18,
yeah,
2018, I'm thinking.
2018. Yeah,
And it's funny
yeah,
because um I I'm a griddle cooker. Okay. I
yeah,
started going back to my story. I started on the griddle. My channel started with the Blackstone. Okay.
yep. I remember that.
I don't know if I saw you with I don't know if you even used a Blackstone back then.
I did. I started out well. Um, when I started in 2016, it was just Blackstone
Mhm.
cooked. I had when I kind of got into social media, I actually was doing more grilling with my big green egg.
Okay.
And then what happened was like a marketing agency that Blackstone uses reached out to me to be an affiliate, and that's whenever they said, "Hey, check out this guy Todd Toven. He does YouTube videos. You,
Yeah.
you might like what he does, or you might want to do the same." And I kind of had the same thing when you said you watched Mike or T Roy. Yeah, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
But YouTube for me, it was. I started out with the Blackstone there. Yeah,
So so I started with the Blackstone because really griddling is a passion of mine. But then I got a Masterbuilt gravity fed. Okay. The first video of the gravity fed my channel, I don't want to say blew up because my channel's never blown up, but I got a lot of views. So I started going with the Masterbuilt. And once I switched to the Masterbuilt, YouTube put me in that corner. Like
Yeah.
where if you show a griddle on your channel, we're not going to show it to any viewers. So I became more of a grilling, smoking channel than
Yeah.
griddling channel. And it took me a couple years to figure out that, damn, I can't, this smoking and grilling, don't get me wrong, I love to do it, but it takes more skill to cook on a griddle because a griddle is a big saute pan, right? So that brings
Yeah.
me back to my skill growing up. And, it started wearing on me, smoking briskets and friggin' this and that. And then that brought me to back to the griddle channel. I started from
Yeah.
scratch.
The one thing with smoking is it just, things just take longer,
Yeah.
and
Brutal,
that's a pain in the butt. It's a
brutal,
lot more planning,
brutal.
and my energy is not going to be the same
Dude,
whenever I
there's
start. By the time I finish, I'm going to be like, God Almighty, if I could,
there's
you know what I'm
no
saying? I'm just ready to be
there's
done.
there's no worse feeling in this YouTube journey than starting a brisket at 5 o'clock in the morning and finally cutting it open after the rest that you have to now film it at 6, 7 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? That's like 14 hours later. And now I got to say, you know, talk about it. And meanwhile, in me is saying, I don't even give a what this thing
Yeah,
tastes like.
I'm
I just
done.
want to turn
I'm
the
done.
camera off and go in the house.
I'm done with this. It's especially when it's hot. The cold don't bother me as much, but
Yeah.
when it's hot, bro, I'm done. This
Yeah.
humidity is
It's brutal. It's brutal. I got 1,000 videos on my channel. Now, a lot of them
wow.
are shorts. Okay. A
Yeah,
lot of them are
right.
shorts. So, but
A
for
lot
the
of them are cut
smoking,
down from your long form, right? Is that what they are?
the shorts are, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
yeah.
cut down
And that's
from the
kind
long
of me
form.
too. My ratio looks more than what it actually is, where
Yeah.
it's been cut down.
Yeah.
I've been kind of right now, just so I can film it in a relatively decent time. I will start one. I'll do two briskets at a time. If I'm doing one, I'll film. I'll cook it. If I'm doing it on a pellet grill, it's a lot easier than the stick burner. Obviously, I'll put it on maybe like where I think I can time it to where when I'm starting in the morning, I can show this is how I trim it, this is how I season it, this is the way I cook it. But then as soon as I'm putting that other one in, I'm bringing this is the finished product here, right? And that way my energy is kind of the
Similar.
same,
Yeah.
but
It's brutal
but
sometimes.
whenever you're going, you know how it is with the offset. The offset, you're manning that sucker.
Every 45 minutes, you're feeding it.
Yeah,
That's again ties into in the beginning of our conversation. If you don't have that knowledge of cooking and that anybody could fake this YouTube stuff for 2 years, but man, if you don't have a passion for food,
yeah,
it ties in just what you said. I found out that, and we both know content creators that don't create anymore. I find cooking ones. I find that once you stop and you say, I need a break and I'm going to come back in 2, 3 months, you never
yeah,
come back. You never
yeah.
pick it back up. Once it is out of you, it's hard to get going with this. You just got to keep on going, man.
You're right. I stopped for it was a little while. I had COVID real bad,
Okay.
and man, I just didn't feel like doing anything.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
And it took me a while to
Yeah.
finally get my legs up under me. But at that point, I didn't have the burn, and I was
Yeah.
worried. I was like, well, crap. People were checking on me.
So you did stop for health reasons. Can you imagine if you stopped because you were just burnt out?
Yeah, yeah,
It's hard to get back to click this back up, man. It is a
I'm
drive.
I actually, there's a fear. I have a fear of that's going to happen. You know, in my one mind, I'm like, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, right? One way, I'm like, I got all this going, but I was like, what's going to happen if I just say, heck with this? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. And that's why I still have my full-time job, I guess. But
Now, how long? Not to take over like me interviewing you,
no,
but
no,
how long? Do you ever want to do this full time?
I do. I think I do. But sometimes I think not.
Yeah,
When,
you're
you know,
young.
I'm juggling so much crap.
How old are you?
I'm 45.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Getting old, man. Getting
You
old.
know, so I actually filed Social Security because I thought I can keep this under about 30.
Yeah.
And then my Facebook page blew up
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I
You're
was
big.
where I was making mounds of
Yeah.
money. So I had to cancel my Social Security, which you can only do one time, So I'm going to run this till I don't want to run it anymore,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you.
you know. Um, I do a lot of stuff for Z Grills and a Monument and a couple other companies. So I can tell you I'm burning a little bit.
Yeah.
I still love it, but dude, I'm
Yeah.
going 7 days a week. Seven
Yeah.
days a week.
Yeah. I have to
Literally.
back that out a little bit, man.
My
Enjoy some
wife
time.
says the same thing, but when somebody calls and says, "Can you do this and we'll pay you this?"
Yeah. Oh, I
it's
get it.
hard to turn down. It's hard to turn down money.
It
And
is.
so I keep a book over here. I changed my edit style. So now it's 2 days solid per film. So I'll roll film, cook. The next day I'll edit. That's
Okay.
2 days. So
Yeah.
again, it just it takes me 7 days a week now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not complaining. No, I'm not
Yeah.
complaining,
I mean,
because
it's better than, I mean, laying flooring's rough. Rough
dude,
on your knees, rough on
I
your body, rough on your shoulders, you
I
know.
feel like seriously, I feel like I'm pretty much the luckiest person on earth because look what I'm doing
Yeah.
and I'm making money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I
You
feel
know?
guilty sometimes. And I don't know if you do. It's like sometimes I don't feel like filming, you know. And
Yeah,
it's like you big goob,
yeah.
you could be in a manufacturing facility somewhere, you know, really just hammering it, you know, for whatever per
Yeah.
hour, you know. And
I
so
used to I used to be the guy at the 7-Eleven because I go to the gym every morning, right? Because that's part of my routine. So I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm at my desk, just emails, whatever. 5:45, I leave for the gym in the morning. So I stop at the 7-Eleven or Wawa to get coffee on my way to
yeah.
the gym, and I see the vans pull in, the work trucks,
Yep.
construction. And that
Yep.
was me for 25, 30 years, I just, I never take this for granted. I
Yeah.
feel like I am the luckiest SOB alive. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. 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 I totally get it. And that's the other part when I start feeling that little bit of a, like you said, that burn a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, I'm like, it's really not that bad, Hussey. You
I know.
just need to tie your shoes and get at it, boy.
Again, we're in a different age bracket, so I'm in a different spot than you, which you always have to keep in mind because, I've paid my dues, full-time work, saved money for, I've got all that now, You've got two young kids and you're still striving for that. I've already earned that. I've got that. That's all done in the bank. So, I'm just in a different spot than you are, or maybe some of the younger creators out there that want to take this full time, but are like,
Yeah.
I'm looking 3, 4 years more, and I'm done. You know,
Yeah. I was talking to, CJ, on a previous episode, and he took the jump.
yeah, yeah. I
You,
speak to
you
him
know,
all
well,
the time.
the industry kind of forced him to it,
Yeah,
right? He was in the mortgage industry, and just talking to him, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should, but who knows?
yeah.
Next year I got a goal. we'll see. I'm going to try to back off my regular job a little bit. So,
Yeah, I talk to CJ all the time. Um, he's put a lot of work into his Facebook page. I'm sure he discussed that a little bit.
he's
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of work on Facebook. I notice it. He works hard. He's a hard worker,
he's a
just
hard
like you
worker.
are.
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hard worker.
I've always said he's one of the hardest workers I've come across, and I mean that. And you too. You do a
Yeah.
lot too.
Well, I'll tell you, I was contacted by a company called Jelly Smack.
Yeah,
Okay. We may have discussed this in the past, but they wanted to take over my Facebook page. Now, my Facebook page was a nothing. So this just goes into how your thought process and how positive mental attitude just brings the universe will always
yeah,
give you what you want.
yeah.
And if you remain positive, positive things are going to happen. It's not to get too deep, but it's called the laws of attraction.
Hmm.
Okay, so Hussey's going to attract Hussey, that's you. Okay, so Hussey's going to attract whatever it is that he's thinking. Okay, so if Hussey was in the bars drinking, doing drugs, Hussey's going to marry a bar girl, probably a drinker and probably divorced in 5 years. So the laws of attraction are always working, right? So, being that how I live my life, just a stroke of luck, I was contacted by Jelly Smack. They wanted to take over my Facebook page. They grew my page to 500,000 followers, right?
Crazy.
And
Yeah,
then they dumped me.
pretty fast too.
Yeah. And then they dumped me a year later because they
Yeah,
couldn't make any money with it.
yeah,
So they left me with all this content because they broke my videos down, and I just kept posting stuff. And one day, um, a video got 7 million views
yeah. That's crazy.
in a day,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And the Facebook page just blew up. It wasn't even my doing because I didn't
yeah,
build it, someone
yeah.
else did. But I've been running with it ever since.
What are you up to now on Facebook?
I mean, I still got about 500,000 followers, I think.
Yeah, it's a dang ton,
But
man.
it blows up. It blows up for a couple months. Like 1 month, I got like 20 million views,
Uh huh.
hits, and then it could mellow out for 2, 3 months, and it just blew up again like 2 months ago, and it
Yeah,
stayed blown up for like 2 weeks, and then mellows out. But it is a very big source of my income here.
yeah, yeah,
But anyway, so going back like CJ, we've been going back and forth on it, and I've been trying to tell him because he was posting on Facebook, keep banging it, keep banging it, keep banging it, and he's up to like 30,000 viewers, and that's going to pay
yeah,
off for him next year. I
yeah.
feel that.
I always and I think I've told you before. I want to try to grow my Facebook, my Instagram, but it's so tough to
It is
be
tough.
relevant on YouTube. Really put my emphasis on YouTube. Really put, and it's like there's only so much of you to go around,
Only so much.
and so I'll go for a while, and you're always a great supporter. Always, always get a comment from Tommy, and you probably see it. It's like I'll go for a route. I'll post some stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times we might share some of the same stuff
Yeah.
because let's face it, the world is big, and just because your people you posted to your people don't mean my people seen it. So. And then a lot of times you're like, yeah, I'm stealing this, and I'm like all for it, because hey, who knows what's going to happen.
There's a
But then all of a sudden I'm like, gosh, I'll fall off, and then I'll go back on, and I'm a roller coaster, Tommy.
Yeah. It's there's a couple content creators like to think that they're just invented everything. So if you do
Yeah,
a brisket dish or a recipe, it gets back winded to you that this guy stole my recipe or this. It's such
yeah.
BS.
I mean,
You know,
I try to if I actually like the hot dog grilled cheeses that I did. I saw the guy who made it,
yeah,
the chilies and smoke.
yeah,
I just like to say, hey, I saw that.
yeah,
And some people's like, and again, his people that watched it, probably don't even know about my people.
yeah,
And so that's why I remake it, because I think my people might have some benefit from it, you know?
It's funny you said that because I watched your video of the grilled cheese hot dog and I mentioned you on my new channel. I mean, you probably never saw it. Me mentioning you wasn't
Yeah.
for you to see anyway. If you
Yeah.
seen it, great. If you didn't see it, great anyway. So basically what I'm saying is I'm just like you. So
Yeah.
you saw him make it. I saw you
Yeah.
make it and mentioned, hey, and I think I actually used your dust,
Yeah.
your rub.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used it on
Yeah.
my channel in that recipe. And that's the way it should be, you
Yeah.
know.
Just put your own little, people put their own little twist on it. And I
Yeah.
mean, like you
It's
said, we're not
food.
all, I mean, we're not
It's
inventing
cooking.
crap here.
Ain't
I
nobody
mean,
inventing anything. It's all been
yeah.
done. It's all been
And
done.
it's just putting a little twist on it, put your own little spin on it. The main thing is that person is cultivating their community,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not, there's no stealing and stuff. But if I may for sure use like something from you, I'm like,
Yeah.
Tommy did something over in his channel, thought it
Yeah.
was cool. Here you go,
Hmm.
So, and then that way it's a little plug for you, if it helps, it helps, So let's see here. Well, we talked about your community is way bigger on Facebook than
Facebook.
YouTube, but you also have a pretty big YouTube following too. What are you?
I have I have
70,000, 80?
I have 70,000
Yeah.
subscribers. I have lagged way behind. Like funny story, Joe from Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue. You know
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Me and him actually raced to 10,000 subscribers, where
Okay.
I nosed him out. This was a funny thing between me and him. Well, he's got like 250,000 subscribers now, and I only got
Yeah.
70. So I
Yeah.
have lagged. But you know what? It never discouraged me that a lot of the content creators that I started with have way more subscribers than I have.
Yeah.
That has never discouraged me, or it doesn't bother me because I'm
It shouldn't
doing
bother you. It
now.
shouldn't bother you though.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
You should never, and this is real talk. We're doing a lot of real talk
Real
today.
talk, man. Real talk.
And I mean, once you and men sometimes have troubles with this alpha whatever syndrome, but at some point you got to realize somebody's going to have a bigger boat than you, and that's just an analogy that
Always.
there's always going to be a bigger, badder mother out there,
Always.
And is it luck? Who knows? Who cares?
Who knows?
What I think is, as long as you are cultivating your community, Joe has his community. It might even be regional. The reason why, he's in Texas. Barbecue's way bigger in Texas. That might be it. You're in Jersey.
I've got a theory.
So, but at the end of the day, you have your people, and as long as you're supporting your people, the people that's behind you,
Yeah.
dude, and you're a good person,
Yeah.
right? At the end of my mom always said, I'd always be like, well, so and so, how kids are, and she's like, well, honey, the cream always rises to the top. Just sometimes it takes longer, and it's just trying to be patient. Just being patient, put the work in, do the right thing, and it'll work out. For if you go higher than him, great. If not, great. We're both blessed. We're all blessed.
It's all about having fun.
It is. That's right.
Fun.
That's right. Yeah. Joe's a great guy.
Do I want that stupid looking thing that's above your shoulder, that silver button thing? Well, yeah, I do want one of them. Okay. And I'll get one eventually.
Yeah, you're going to.
When my time is there, I'll hopefully will get one. But until then, I'm just looking to make money. I'm just looking to make money and have fun.
When I got that thing, now some people, I was talking to CJ about his, when he got his, I don't know. When I got it, I was just like, what's next? Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I was a little bit, I didn't have a party. I didn't really do much of nothing, I just.
What's the red one?
I was like, the red one?
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
red
that's
button.
Ruby.
Is that a book?
That is a pillow.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just a pillow.
Gotcha.
It's actually meant to. There's a little chair right there, but my big gourd head is covering up, so I put it right there on the shelf.
Yeah, I don't want to party neither. Just it's just something that, I will put, on my wall behind me.
Yeah.
And other than that, I guess it doesn't really mean much.
Yeah. 70,000 is quite a feat though. If you
Yeah.
ever look at those statistics that they show of like how many individual creators have 10,000 subscribers,
I'm
50,
very,
you know what I'm saying? It's not many.
yeah, I'm blessed and proud of myself for what I've accomplished. I mean, like I said, and for any creators out there, um, who may be watching this, I started with a cell phone and have reached 70,000 on YouTube and 500 on Facebook, even though I had help with the Facebook, but I'm still running the running the channel now. And I'm actually on Microsoft Start, I think it's called,
Did that come
which I'm
did that
making a
company
little bit
come
of.
after you? Did they
Who?
ask? There was a that Wild Vision.
Yeah,
They
them.
contacted me and I was like, "Is this real?"
Did you go with them?
I think I told the guy I set up a meeting with him.
And did you start?
No, it's the only time was like next week.
Well, get on that. My first month was $7 bills.
Dang, for real?
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
They did it for you, right?
They do it all. They pulled it
Yeah.
right off of YouTube and
I
7 bills.
Yeah, I thought I did some research and I was like, Wild Vision.
They're real.
Well, they they were me and you both, I think, and then
Yeah.
they dropped us both. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Well,
with
you
them
helped
on.
me. You helped me. You got the
Yeah,
contact
I
for me.
did.
Yeah.
I did. So first it was Jelly Smack. They dropped me. Then it was
Yeah.
Wild Vision Facebook page, and
What was
then
her
they
name?
dropped
Charlotte?
me.
Charlotte, or was that the girl's
Yeah,
name?
yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I talked to you about that. And
Yeah.
then they contacted me again a year later with this Microsoft thing. And I
Yeah.
said, sure, why not? And so far, that has been working out big time.
I
I'll
need to get
find out what
well,
my second month is. The good thing is from the first video they put up is monetized already. So you
really.
don't have to wait. So the Hussey
I
may
want to
make
get
some
on.
good money coming.
I
You may
want to
be
get on that.
retiring, my man.
Yeah, I mean, for the creators out there, I mean, you as you can see, there's a pie, right?
There's a pie.
You know, you're a solopreneur, right? However many things to make up that whole pie, that's what you're looking to try to do, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
There's a
So,
pie. There's a
yeah,
pie, and there's multiple checks that
yeah,
come in at the end of the month to make up how big that
yeah,
pie is.
yeah. I think this the 20th is my what's
Yeah.
today?
And I'll
Today? No,
find
no,
out my
no.
second month's earnings on the 22nd. Ellie is
Yeah,
the girl's name. Ellie,
yeah. I got a guy. It's like
guy.
yeah. I'll send you his name
Yeah.
offline. Yeah, very
But
good.
yeah,
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
take that serious.
Yeah, well, as soon as I realized it was legit,
Yeah.
I signed up. He had like a calendar, you can sign in or
Yeah.
not sign in, but go and see his calendar and book an
Yeah.
appointment to talk to him. So
Take that serious.
I will do that. Appreciate you as
That's
always. Good
that
concert.
could turn into something nice. I'll find out my second month's earning in a couple days.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know.
Yeah, I will. I'll shoot you a message.
Let's talk about. I had 10 to 12 minutes for this second segment.
Once I start rambling, man, I don't shut up.
Bro, I love it. I love talking to you. You've always been so generous to me and supportive. So I appreciate it. I have here like a favorite video or recipe. Do you have a favorite video? It says I say video or recipe, but do you have a favorite video and maybe something that may have surprised you about its success? So was there something like, I don't feel like doing this, I'm going to do it, and the sucker
Yeah.
went off for 50,000 views in the first 2 days? I don't know.
Well, so my favorite videos are probably, I hate to segue into my new channel, but
That's a good segue
I'm
because
sure
the
we'll
very
get in
next
there.
thing we're going to be talking about it. Yes, sir.
Man, I just love the griddle cook. I love the griddle cooking, and uh, my favorite recipes are cooked on the griddle. It's never gonna be, it's never gonna be brisket. It's never gonna be pulled pork. It's never gonna be ribs. It's gonna be you know, from the griddle, burgers, but a recipe type burger with some sauce. Those are my fun things to cook. Because that just falls into more of my passion.
What's one of your? You think it might be a burger?
Yeah, probably. You've heard of the Molly
The Molly
Yeah, the
burger, maybe.
Molly.
Yeah,
I would think the
yeah,
Molly. The Wall twins actually covered it in one of their books.
yep, yep.
And so for your audience out there, a Molly smash burger. So I made a smash burger once with I dipped and this is the origin. This is how it started. Now I'm not saying I didn't invent this burger, but I invented the name, and actually have it on video. So I made a brown sugar infused smash burger. So I took the loosely packed ball and I rolled it in brown sugar, and then I griddled it. Okay. And it was really good. And as I was eating it, I have a black lab who's actually at my feet right here, if you hear
Yours
her.
is at your feet, and look. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can
I
see it
seen yours
down there.
walk past you. Yours is back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was eating the burger, and my Molly, the black lab, Pitmaster Molly, was watching me eat it, and I just looked at her, and she just took her head and kind of tilted it with them sad black lab eyes, and from there I just said Molly Smash Burger, and that's
Yeah.
how the Smash Burger was born. And I would have to say, not that anybody knows me for that burger, but like maybe you've heard of it in the Wall Twins again in their book. So I would probably say the Molly Smash Burger.
Yeah. And it has a personal touch too, right?
It has a personal
These dang
thing.
dogs. Hey, Maggie girl, she drives
I'm
me
wait.
crazy
I
sometimes.
am
But
waiting for the Hungry Hussey to copycat it on his channel, so my channel will get some love. Whenever
I
you
should
want
do
to
that.
whenever
I
you want
should
to do that, you
feed
should do that.
Maggie the Molly burger.
Go
That's what
ahead,
I need to
man.
do.
I would love to get your take and to see how you like it.
Probably need to like make her a burger to brand her too, because man, she's a big part of my channel. People probably love Maggie more than
I
me.
think I wasn't I. I think because every once in a while I'll pop in to your channel, and didn't you just do a cook with her and name something Maggie? Didn't I see that on your channel? I thought I did.
I've kind of named it the Maggie tax, like
Yeah.
got to give
Or
her a
maybe
piece
this
or
came
whatever.
up when I had you on my live show. Maybe we discussed it on the live
Yeah,
show.
maybe so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I talk so much crap, Tommy. On the, I don't know what I
Tell
say
you,
from
man.
time to time.
It's funny because when you're sitting here talking about food and content creating and how lucky we are, it's so easy to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So easy to do.
It is. A lot of people say, "How do you come up with those ideas?" And honestly, I don't know. I mean, some days I film on Fridays. Sometimes on Thursdays, I don't know what I'm doing. And next thing you know, I just like, all right, yeah, I'm thinking I'll do this. I might do this. I'll have like 6 ideas eventually, and I'll have six, like all the ingredients, and I might do 3 or 4, and then I'll have 2 as backup, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to do this.
It's funny you said that. And again, maybe this will help a content creator out there. I'm cooking on the griddle tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm cooking yet. I can only concentrate. So today, yesterday, I cooked for Z Grills. Okay, so paid cook for them, and I'm editing the video today. I can only concentrate on what I am doing at the moment. Tomorrow's griddle, the next day is edit, and then Friday I'm doing a cook for Chef's Temp. I have no idea what I'm cooking Friday because I can only concentrate on what I'm doing right now. When I turn my computer off tonight, I'll start going over recipes for tomorrow. Now, it's my cook tomorrow, so it's easy. That's easy because I'm not trying to
Yeah.
please anybody.
Right.
Like if I'm doing like a Z Grills or a Monument or a Chef's Temp, I have to really make sure I nail everything, and everything's
Yeah.
got to try to be perfect.
Yeah.
But to get recipes for the griddle is so easy because God, all you got to do is let's say, just so You don't get any ideas from like follow up like Wall Twins or you or Flat Top King. You just got to go on TikTok and hit griddle recipes, and
Yeah.
you'll see so many quick recipes. And then not even the recipe. If you see some Joe Schmo doing this on TikTok on a 60-second thing, you can just take what he's doing and now add your own ingredients in. So it's not like you're totally ripping him off, because you
Yeah.
can just take an idea off TikTok, not even the recipe, because in the TikTok you don't even get the full recipe anyway. And just if again, it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning. This only works for somebody who has food knowledge. You can fake it for 2 years, maybe three, but then you'll start burning because now you can't think of anything to
Yeah.
cook, you know. But so an idea can come from a TikTok reel. So maybe tonight before bed, I'll flick through reels and I'll find something and I'll start playing again, because I have general knowledge of what jives good with whatever protein
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooking,
Yep.
seasoning wise. And then I'll just start playing recipes in my head while I sleep. I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll start running with what I thought about, and then I'll start researching my idea, and then their recipe is born.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a good way to know, for folks maybe starting out or thinking about it is how do you come up with ideas, ideation. I like to keep a running. I keep in a notes feature
Yeah.
on my phone. What I like about it, because it syncs with my iPad, it syncs with my Mac and everything. And I'll have that if I'm totally just at a block. I'll run through this list. And there's a book that I read at one time. A good friend of mine recommended it to me, Tyler. It was it was basically how to come up with ideas. And
Mhm.
you cannot come up with ideas if you're just right on the spot. It's those times whenever you're at the gym. It's those times whenever you're in the car and you got to think, but you got to jot those things down.
Yes. I have
Jotting them down is yeah,
I got a book right here.
yeah.
Um,
And so
Go ahead.
if you're up against the if your back is against a wall, it's like I got to think of this idea. I got to think of. You will not think about the idea.
No,
Your mind has to be kind of clear,
sure.
and not really thinking about it.
So you're not going to think of a grilled cheese hot dog, and I'm not going to think of a grilled cheese hot dog. So after I caught it on TikTok, let's just say, then I would go to YouTube in the morning. I saw you did one, and of course FTK did one, and maybe the wall. Everyone's done them, right? But
Yeah,
so then you just have to try to make it yours. And again, I leaned upon your video, figured I'd use the Hussey dust,
yeah, yeah,
and the recipe. So it's done my way, and the recipe basically is born. I have to tell you, for a new channel, which is licensed to Griddle. Okay,
yeah,
that's my new
yeah.
channel's name.
Let's go ahead and talk about that. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
go ahead and just go ahead and get it out there. That's the next segment.
yeah. So licensed to Griddle. How I got that name? I used to watch this guy out of Canada. He used to cook at his pool. Now I probably watched him in the 80s. The black guy, licensed to
No,
grill,
license to
licensed to
grill.
grill.
Okay,
That was his channel name.
so it was like on PBS or something like that, or
Yeah, and
okay.
it was a guy, a black guy at his pool. I would watch him every friggin' night growing up. I was probably coming home from the bars, probably half whacked out of my mind. But again, I loved cooking. Back then, there was actually cooking shows licensed to grill.
He's still out there. It looks like on Gusto
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. He does. I don't know if he does anything anymore. But Julia Childs, I used to watch her. This was before Food Network. So that's
Yeah.
how I got licensed to griddle. Name was kind of off of that. But I've only got like 1,000 or 1,100 subscribers. I've got like 12 videos, but I've already had videos do better than the gallery channel.
Yeah.
I've got 1,000 view videos, and I got some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the new channel. It has brought a passion back into me in a big way. So I do 2 videos a week for the license to griddle, and I
Two
do
videos.
one
Wow.
on the gallery channel. So that's 3 videos.
Yeah.
6 days, and then I'll usually have, a Z grills or some type of paid cook in there. So that
Actually
that
think I
puts me
can
back on that 7 days a week.
actually think I can share my screen.
Yeah, you see the license to
Yeah.
griddle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think I can. I think it'll show on my feed too
yeah, I'm
when
seeing it.
people. Yeah.
So if you if
So
you if
I
you
am
scroll,
subscribed, by the way.
okay, there you go. If you scroll down, you'll see where I did the Hussey thing. But if you look at some of the views, 1,800 and 2,200 there, life
Yeah.
changing burger,
I mean,
1,500.
for one, how many, for what, 1.1400 subscribers? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
bad.
that's good. I'm excited. That's
I
good
like your
views.
thumbnails. Your thumbnails are
Well,
good too. This one right here, I love
a
that one.
lot of practice, a lot of research on thumbnails. I wanted to try to get me in every thumbnail.
Yeah.
There's the grilled cheese hot dog. That's the one you're mentioned
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. 3.2. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
I'm
good
excited
one.
about that, man. For a brand new channel,
Yeah.
I'm real excited about that.
Yeah. I need to, I probably do need to do something so I can try and, show some love to you as well.
Do the
Yeah.
Molly.
I will, I will be filming Friday for the Hussey channel. Last week was Blackstone, and that will be one of my recipes.
Yeah, so
That will be number one for Friday. I don't
there you
know what I'm filming yet.
There you go. So I was burning a little bit at the gallery channel. Again, 1,000 videos. A lot of those are shorts, but probably 600, 700 cook videos. There's only so many recipes you can do on a smoking channel, grilling, smoking. I was starting to burn. I don't want to do the same thing over and over. I didn't even do a turkey this year because I've done them before. I've only done turkeys that were paid cooks for other people, but not for myself. So the Griddle channel has brought new life into me. But the thing that's so fun about it is I started up a new channel with money and knowledge already in the bank.
Yeah,
So when you started the Hussey, or when I started my channel up, or FTK or Waltman, we didn't know what we were doing. It was just a cell phone. So now with the new channel, I've already got banked money, so I can print stickers and hats, and I've already got knowledge, so I can do the thumbnails. So that helped me
yeah.
to kick the channel off and get subscribers. So it's been fun.
You're kind of like myself. A lot of people think like around where I'm at. A lot of people think that I'm barbecue, and I like barbecue, but I don't love. I don't think I love barbecue. I like food. I like creating food. Even on my big green egg, I wouldn't do a lot of barbecue. I would do a lot of meals, all the meals cooked on one device, that big green egg, and then you have to space everything out so
Yeah.
everything gets finished at the same time. So that's not by no means saying that but the barbecue guys are boring, because they do
Yeah,
some
no,
amazing
no, no.
stuff and they have incredible stamina.
Of course, it's all food.
Yeah, but I do love it. I do love
The thing
barbecue.
is, the thing is, and this again, this is just my opinion. Okay, take it for whatever it's worth. Barbecue smoking on YouTube is dead. Okay, nobody's growing anymore. Creators that used to get 20, 30,000 views are getting 2, 3,000 views.
Talking like the mad scientist
Well,
barbecue, things like
if
that, or
if you're Chud or a mad
yeah,
scientist,
that's different. Yeah,
or yeah, the guy Meat Church,
yeah.
they're in a class of their own. They're gonna Chud. The guy's a superstar. Chud, he's the real deal. They're in a class of their own. They're gonna get huge views. I'm talking about myself, Smoking Joe, Dogfather, Grill Star. I'm talking Ash Kicking. Ash Kicking used to get 100, 300,000 views. He's getting
Hmm.
3,000, 4,000,
Wow.
5,000 views now. I'm not I'm involved in it. So I'm not putting anybody down, you
Yeah.
know, because it's tough for all of us out there. What I'm saying is griddling is blowing up.
Yeah.
That is where it is at right now. You know, there's nothing
You're right.
wrong with 10, 15,000 views a video because it's only getting bigger.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, that's just what I have seen. There's griddle channels out there like you and FTK that, are getting good views, not blow up views yet, but I do think that's going to come where barbecue channels like me, Ash Kicking Joe, and we're not getting those 2, 3, 400,000 hits anymore. It's just not happening.
Sometimes I get
And the
frustrated.
barbecue people are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
day, but Mike over it every day. It's tough, man. When you
It's
put
a lot of work.
4 years into it, and you put a video out, and you get 500 views, and you
Yeah.
got, it's like wow,
Yeah. I know Mike
it
had
hurts.
changed his name too so that he wasn't like
Yeah.
pigeonholed into barbecue,
Yeah, I tried that too. I tried it. It was the Gallery Backyard Barbecue and Griddle. I
Yeah.
tried that. And I was talking to my wife one night and I said, you know what? I'm going to start a griddle channel separate. And she's like, are you sure? I mean, that's a lot of work. And I said, you know what? I got to do it,
Yeah.
because this barbecue smoking is not going anywhere. It's just not, whether it's health, whether it's how many brisket videos can you watch. YouTube has a lot to do with it. They'll show Meat Church or Chud, but they won't show me. It's just the way it is. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I'm still making money at the gallery, and the gallery has brought me Z Grills and Monuments and Chef's Temp, and has brought me 6, 7, 8 checks a month. So I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying there's another route to go, and that's the griddling. And I don't even know if I'm ever going to blow up, you know, but I could tell you that I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an
Not making any
interesting point.
money because I'm not
I think,
monetized yet, but I'm having a lot of fun.
yeah, you don't have much longer. I mean, you got
Now I'm
1,000
halfway there.
subs.
Halfway
Yeah.
there.
Oh, so you got about around 2,000 watch hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm halfway.
Good.
So,
Well,
but I'm
you'll be
having
there.
fun, man.
Yeah, and I think when we talk about the name change, I don't know if it helped Mike out. I haven't really seen much of Mike.
Now he stopped. He stopped.
Did he really? Well, I know he went out on his own, right? And then
He does some client work. He's got some clients, but
yeah,
he doesn't put much content out.
not much content. Yeah,
Like I said, when you put a lot of years into it and then you put
yeah,
videos out and you only get, a couple hundred views, it
yeah.
takes a toll.
It does. Unless I was listening to this one podcast, the YouTube creator podcast with Dusty Porter. I don't know if you've ever watched that or listened to it.
I think I have heard of it.
He had Roberto Blake on there not long ago, and Roberto Blake's like a YouTube strategist, and I like him a lot. And I catch some of these, and I mean, I'm not a religious listener, but he was just saying, what do you put your emphasis on? Is it the views or is it the people that your community that you've built? You know what I'm saying? And the way he was saying is, don't worry about the subscribers. Don't worry about the subscribers. Worry about your community and foster your community. It's like your people, your village.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me ground a little bit because I'm not as big as I'd like to be. What I'd love to have a gold play button. Yes. It's 1 million subscribers. And I think you just got to go back to what I think the money messes with people a lot of times. And that becomes who we want to be. At the end of the day, I feel this is just Hussey is just giving the people what they want. If it's, and I'll do a smoking video on mine. I know it's not going to do well. I'll do it anyway. Cause I don't care, because everybody has multiple things, and I just know it's not going to be that great, and that's okay. Yeah. You could reach an organic viewer that, once YouTube says, all right, we're going to try it over here for these folks. And then maybe you get that, that's some organic growth that you never thought you might get. So
I could tell it's almost lunchtime. So
there she is.
So one thing that has helped me, young girl, I was talking to somebody and they asked me a strange question. I thought it was strange. They said, "Do you do your thumbnail first or do you do your video first?" And I said, "Well, that's silly. I do the video, obviously. Not make the thumbnail, but think of the thumbnail."
Yeah.
And I started doing that and it has helped me out.
Yeah.
So in other words, when I land on what a recipe that I'm going to cook, I start working on the thumbnail
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
head.
Oh, absolutely.
So when I'm done with the recipe, I already know the thumbnail that I'm going to take for the recipe, and I believe that has helped me a lot.
Yeah. I
I don't
I
know.
completely agree. Now sometimes I don't I do that.
Yeah.
I try to visualize that thing.
Exactly.
And I agree with you. And thumbnail and title has a lot to do
And
with a lot of
title.
things.
Somebody, yeah.
So that's interesting you say that. So like this turkey video that I did.
Hmm.
Now it's not doing as well as I wanted to, but now I used a sous vide. I used something way different. You
Hmm.
know,
Which
I
you have
thought
to do.
I'll have the turkey, bought a thing of water, you know, a better turkey. And somebody sitting there thinking like, what in the world? He's got a thing of water
Hmm.
and he's cooking it in this water. What? I just thought, I was like, that would rise some curiosity, you
So
know?
you thought of the thumb. You thought of the thumb before you even
Yes,
started
sir.
rolling film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that has helped me a lot. Also, people have told me you got to be in the thumbnail. You got to be in the thumbnail. So I've started putting myself in the thumbnails, and I started paying attention, really paying attention to other people's thumbnails, and I believe that has helped me. And of course, I'm talking about License to Griddle channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The thumbnails on that channel seem to
Yeah.
have helped me. I
They look
have to
good.
tell
Yeah.
you, I used to do 2 videos to 3 videos a week on the gallery channel. Ever since I cut it down to 1 video a week, the channel has been going up. Ain't
Really.
that
That's,
weird?
yeah, that
So
is weird.
people said you're putting too much content out,
Yeah.
3 videos a week. This is before I had a lot of paid work and
Yeah.
before the Griddle channel, 3 videos a week. And they're saying that's too much, you're burning people. And now I cut it down to 1 video a week and the views and money have gone up.
Yeah.
I
That's
just thought that
interesting. I
was
went up to two where I wanted to try and like if I had like a smoker video, I didn't want that to be my one video for the week, you know?
Yeah. Now
And
the
so
smoking's on your same channel, the Hussey channel, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't do two.
No,
There's
no,
no
no.
way. My thought process was, you know what? If this goes out and it gets a quarter of what I don't care. I'm giving people my core people is going to watch,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
You're already labeled a griddle channel, that you're already at the spot you want to be. So doing a smoking video on your griddle channel won't hurt you at all.
So I'll just release it on Thursday. It'd be like my Thursday video,
Yeah.
you know. And what and I've tried to start doing really just a quick. I name it 3 minute Thursdays, but I never do 3 minutes. I always go over.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
think
that's
I
kind of
saw.
the lure about it. So people's like, well, why don't you name it 5 minute Thursdays? Like, because 3 minutes sounds better.
Yeah. Now you have an editor, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
and he
talk-
films too.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
was
might
talking.
lose him here soon, unfortunately.
Okay. I was talking to somebody, I forget who, and they mentioned about an editor. I couldn't do that, but I think I'm just, again, it just goes back to where I'm in a different spot than you. You work full time. I sit
Yeah,
at this desk full time. And as you can
yeah,
see, I've set my whole, I think we were talking about this off air. I don't think it was on air, so I can say it again. I set up my whole office here uh, to do this full
yeah,
time.
yeah,
You know, that board that you see behind me that's glowing right there,
yeah.
that's my charging station.
Oh,
So
okay.
all the wires are behind that. That's a metal board. It's actually a half inch off the wall.
Yeah,
All my wires for my cameras and phones are behind that board. And
interesting.
and so I can just plug everything right into that board instead of having 100 wires. Now I'm gonna
Dude,
have
you
to
don't
try to
want to see
set
where
this
all my
thing.
crap.
Just bear with me.
I got a thing over here. It looks like Fido's butt, Tommy. I don't even
Yeah,
need to
well,
show
that's
that.
why
I need
I
to do
did
like
that.
what you did.
That's why you have to cut this out because my camera's doing fugazi
Yeah,
on me.
it's all good.
Wait here. So that yeah, so that's why it's got to pick me up and then it'll follow me.
That's
You'll
half
cut
the.
this out, right?
Well, I'll
There
try.
it goes.
Yeah,
So that's
somebody might find it funny.
yeah. So so that's what that board is. So I've set my whole life up. And again, I'm such small potatoes that, when I look at like Mr. Beast, that dude, or, we're even going like Chud. These guys are rock stars, man. These guys are making the amount of money that you can make doing this is insane.
Yeah,
Insane. And now look, I saw a little taste of that from Facebook. The amount of money I made in 1 month was insane to me. When it popped up on the screen, I looked at it and I'm like, and said to my wife, and she's like, "You got to be kidding me."
yeah, it's
So I
crazy.
can't even imagine like
Yeah,
Mr. Beast or even Chud maybe.
yeah,
Just the amount of money that you could make doing this is insane. People say to me, my friends or whoever, "Do you make money doing that? How do you make money doing that?" And I just look at them and say, "It's insane. It's
yeah,
insane."
yeah. Advertise marketing. It is
Now
crazy.
look,
I get a question all the time, like, you make money at this? I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, I do.
it's insane. A lot of work,
It is a lot of
unless
work.
I'm a
Yeah,
20-year-old girl with big boobies, because like look at that Hawk Tui girl.
I
We
know.
all know her. The
Yeah,
amount of money she's making now, people could laugh at her and this first of all, it wasn't planned. She
yeah,
was just on TikTok. She did that. She's making she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars now a year
yeah. It's
from that.
crazy.
I mean, she is running with it. You
Yeah,
know,
good for her.
this is yeah, yeah, why not, man? This is just where it is at now.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
the internet's
Crazy.
only going to get bigger, especially with AI, that kind of stuff. It's a
I
fun time to be
It
alive
is.
though, bro,
It is.
you know?
It is, but I have to tell you, since this is a great segue, and because you just said it, how long is it going to last? Now, I'm not talking the Hawk Two girl or Mr. Beast. I'm talking hot
Yeah.
with the cooking. How because
Well,
cooking is very small. You've seen YouTube change over
yeah.
the last 2 years. Now you have gotten better, bigger over the last 2 years because griddling is hot. But I can tell you, if you were a smoking channel over the last 2 years, you would be singing a different tune. You
Yeah.
would be saying, "Gee, well, I went from 25 or 3,000 a month to 1,000."
Yeah.
And that's 2 years later or 4,000. If you were just doing smoking, I'm telling you, you would be questioning how long is this going to
Yeah.
last for? That
I
is
think
one
you
of the
got to
reasons I pivoted to the Griddle channel because, I asked myself that question, well, only one thing has to change, and that's YouTube can change the whole ball game.
yeah.
Because they're the ones who send people to Hussey's channel or my channel. They can turn the switch on and off anytime they want. So that was the only question for me is how long can we run this? Because you had mentioned how it changes this and that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
it's funny. I don't know.
we
It's
constantly
scary.
look for different revenue streams to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want all your eggs in one basket, you
Now,
know.
you know, um,
I think it's going to be around a long time. I think YouTube is still going to be a juggernaut, for a long time.
mhm,
If you think about, you watch Julia Childs, I watch Julia Childs, I watch Justin Wilson, the Yan Can Cooks on the PBSs,
mhm,
then Food Network, when Food Network, they cooked,
yeah,
Rachel Ray, Bobby Flay,
yeah.
and all those. I still, like that stuff. And then people it's like reality TV,
Yeah,
it's,
but
it's what
but
the,
here's a little kicker for you. So 3 years ago, people maybe were going to YouTube for recipes. Now people are going. All of a sudden, this TikTok popped up, And
Hate
now people are just because people don't want to sit in front of a computer for 5 to 10 minutes. So now they're just clicking a TikTok video for a
Yeah.
recipe.
What's weird
So
is
technology is weird, man.
yeah,
It's
I
moving
TikTok,
fast.
and with it just, I think that messed up a lot of people for my revenue stream too. Used to, I thought I needed to get going and get it out fast, and I think that was a bad thing on me to do that because I wasn't inserting my personality, So, but
You
I
know,
don't know.
I switched up a little bit of editing style to make it move faster. But I have to tell you, like you were saying, exciting time that we live in, and this and that. And again, not to interject politics into this podcast because nobody likes that. And I'm by no means a Trumper. Like I am the furthest thing from a Trumper. Okay, but I have to tell you, I'm a little bit excited to see what this JFK does with our food because
Uh,
I feel there's a problem in this country with a lot of the chemicals and stuff that is being put into food.
yeah,
And I feel there's a problem in this country with people that are on that are medicated, that are on medicine, kids. I feel there's a problem in this country with obesity. I
yeah,
think this country has gotten lazy and FAT, and I don't think we're as healthy as we were in the 70s and 80s. I know my daughter went to college and she right away got on Adderall, and she tells me all the kids are doing it. And I come to find out that that's true. And it's like, wow. So besides him, Trump, because whatever, I'm not even going to go get into that conversation. I'm excited to see if we can get lean and mean and healthy with the food that we consume. And it's a lot of, I think there's a lot of pesticides that's
yeah,
used to grow stuff faster. So that's kind of an interesting little time. Hopefully it doesn't backfire.
yeah.
Now, hopefully, this country gets a little bit more healthier.
I would like to hope. I would hope so. I have the same kind of positive outlook as you. I just hope that I hope that hopefully they act on what they say.
Definitely, definitely.
Some of
Hey,
these things.
they
Go ahead.
say if McDonald's changes, and I don't know much about it, but it's just something that I heard. If they switched from seed oil to beef tallow in their cooking or French fries and stuff, right there is healthier.
Really?
I guess seed oil is cheap but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. I'm like you. I hope politics don't get in the way, and I hope this country can get more lean and mean and,
Yeah.
get a little bit better and, you know, fingers are crossed.
Yeah. I think
Fingers are crossed.
medically we've advanced. I feel like it's other ways we've taken a couple steps back,
Yeah.
and I think some of this bad stuff in our foods is not good. I think
Yeah.
school meals are terrible. They
Terrible.
could be a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, Thankfully, where my kids go, they don't have to worry about that. They are fed nice there. Anyhow, I mean, got to give good foundations for sure. We try to eat
And,
very clean here. Now we don't do much. We don't do like organic or we do some, but not.
yeah.
We're not all on it. But we make stuff fresh. We don't go out to eat very much. So
It's more, and again, I've been living a dirty keto lifestyle.
yeah,
I'll say dirty keto because if I want something, I'm going to eat it. I'm not going to, not full keto person, but I'm very close. I can put my body into ketosis in a matter of probably a day and a half. Okay, so I do a lot of fasting. Like I said, we talked about. I go to the gym. I keep myself into dirty keto, which basically for me is I've cut 95 to 98% of sugars out of my life. So I don't
yeah.
put any
I think
sugar in
sugar's
my
bad, bro.
system. So bad for you. And it just ties into what we were talking about. We put food out in this country that Canada and other countries won't put out. You're not going to find it there because chemically it's not good for you. So sugars, if people would get off sugar, and I use monk fruit in my coffee. I drink a non-fat creamer, and like I said, I try to keep myself in ketosis as quick as possible. And I'll do a fast. I'll do like a 72-hour fast every couple months. So
Yeah.
I'll eat Sunday night, and then I won't eat again till Thursday. I'll drink waters, a lot of
Yeah.
fluids. I'm
Right.
not recommending that to anybody because everybody's different. But I do believe a 24-hour fast is good every once in a while. It cleans your system out. There's just, like I said, there's a lot of impurities
There
that
is.
humans and Americans put in their body. My daughter just had and I know I'm starting to ramble now here. My daughter just had a child, a baby, and I told her my only advice is never introduce McDonald's to your kid, because
Right.
once you pull into McDonald's and get that 2-year-old a Happy Meal, she
Yeah.
is going to be living on that for the next 7 years because she'll
Yeah.
cry to go to McDonald's and the Happy Meals. That is what that is just the worst thing you can do. And it's the mistake I made. I'm not an angel. I took my daughter to McDonald's all the
Sure.
time.
Yeah. It
Just
was a
what we
treat. It
know.
was it was different back then.
It's different. It's just what we know now that we
Yeah.
didn't know back then,
Yeah.
and
I think it was a little bit better back in our days when they first. I mean, honestly, I think it was nutrition. I
well,
mean,
of
all
course.
these enriched flours.
Well, exactly.
You
The
know,
fat spears back then were better.
yeah. And so I think just because mass produced, quicker, better,
Yeah.
how to get it out, foods last longer now.
Yeah. If you ever go into I know down by you, is it Winn-Dixie?
We used to have a Winn-Dixie, but not anymore. It's food. It's called Food Line. Is
Okay,
big
Food
down
Line.
here.
Yeah. So in the supermarkets here in Jersey, ShopRite is the supermarket. If you walk in there, you think you're in a mall. I mean, this friggin' place is huge. I mean, they're cooking Chinese. They got chickens over there. I mean, this place is friggin' huge, huge, and it's filled with like probably 75 to 80% of shit that we just don't need. It's just all processed stuff and sugars, and the cereal aisle. Just look at the cereal aisle and look, nobody misses graham crackers or frosted flakes more than me. I mean, I used
Right.
to love to eat that stuff, but if you look at the cereal aisle, it's like, wow, you know, it's loaded with bad food. You could buy Skippy peanut butter with no sugar next to the Skippy peanut butter that has 3, 4 grams of sugar, and the one with no sugar is going to be $2 more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean? It's
wild.
like, you
Yeah.
know,
And buying a
I
salad,
I
going to
think
a
it's
place
a
to get a
big
salad is $10 versus a full meal
I
for
think
$8.
I think it's a big game, to tell you the truth. I think pharmaceuticals have gotten so big with,
Yeah.
maybe giving money to politic,
Legislature.
whatever,
Yeah.
that they're just no one cares anymore. It's just like, let's keep America sick because big corporations, make a lot more money.
Yeah.
Um,
Got to make the world go round. Even though
so
medically we're more advanced, I feel like there's still there's some other ways to get people into the medical system.
my God, there's a pill, dude. There's a pill for everything now.
Yeah.
Friggin'
I don't like
everything.
pills.
And then the
I try
problem,
not to take
if
nothing.
you if you take a pill for this, you need a pill just because you're taking that pill for this. And
That's right.
before, like my wife, I'll give you a perfect example. And I know I'm rambling again, but she had high cholesterol, so she took a cholesterol pill. Now everybody knows that cholesterol pills, if you really look into it, they're not good for you. So, but they help, but they're last resort. So her cholesterol came down, and I'm like, why don't you go off the pill? And she's like, why? It'll go back up. And I said, I'm trying to say, well, no, because now you're going to eat better, but she won't go off it. But the cholesterol pills mess her stomach up. So now she takes a pill for the stomach. And it's like, I, and won't put pills in my body, and you're talking to a '70s ex partier. I mean, if there was a drug in the '70s, I can guarantee you it went in my system. But now I won't put pill. I'll take an Advil, but I don't put pills. Doctor, I had a
Yeah.
brain tumor. Okay,
Really? I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So I had the operation a long time ago, and I'm supposed to take medicine for it, and I stopped taking it because I just don't want to put chemicals in
Yeah.
my body because I don't think they belong there. You
No,
know.
they don't. I don't. I hate pill. I hate taking anything. I don't want to even take a Tylenol, Advil,
Yeah.
whatever, ibuprofen. Even that's bad on your liver.
Yeah, it's not good, but I guess we
Yeah,
got way off the trail. I'm sure you had
we
none of
did.
those questions written down.
I'm looking at my. Nope, didn't.
Nothing there. And you may
No,
not ever cover this again with any other guest.
no, and that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah,
You just learn these little tidbits about people.
yeah,
And somebody might pick up something cool. But
yeah.
on this is future vision. This is future vision based off of Gallery, Backyard Barbecue, and License to Griddle. Where do you see both your channels and your brand heading into 5 years, 10 years? And are there any other kind of big projects you might have up in your brain?
Yes. So again, now my focus has shifted again because I was younger when I started this, obviously, and as noted before, I mean I'm 62, I think now. Okay, so when you say where do you see yourself in 5 years, I'll be 67.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
chump
saying?
change.
So my
Yeah,
focus has shifted now. My goal for the gallery channel is to get that 100,000 button. Okay, that's my goal for the gallery channel. I want the griddle channel to be the driving force moving forward, but I realize the gallery channel is going to support me. But the griddle channel is going to wake me up in the morning. It's going to excite me a
yeah.
lot more.
Mm-hmm. Gives you a reason.
Yeah, my focus at this stage is just to take this and have fun. I'm not, again, I'm in such a different spot than, like, say, you, who's 40, what, 45, you said, right?
45. Yeah.
I'm in such a different spot, man, that my goals have shifted from, where they were 5 years ago to now because, if I can run this for another, I'm not even putting a time frame on this because I'm just having too much damn fun right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you know,
Ah, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, just to keep having fun and just to take this till I don't want to take it no more. Then I'll go on Social Security, travel, and I'll just continue to collect the checks that just come in. You know, but right now it's just the drive is the griddle channel, and the gallery channel will live on and continue to grow, and I'll just work all of them and just continue to have fun.
I dig it. I dig it. Well, this is
I'll tell
something
you,
new. Go
I'll
ahead.
be in I'll be in North Carolina next summer, and if you're anywhere close to me,
Where,
I'll
where are
take
you
the
going?
half.
Where are you coming?
You know what?
Is it something like a vacation
I'm renting a house with the family.
at the coast?
Yeah, are you anywhere near the coast?
I'm in central North Carolina, which is 3 hours. I mean, it's not far. We're three. It depends on where you're going.
Yeah.
3 to 3.5 hours from the coast. You're going to Carolina Beach,
Sound front?
Sunset,
Sound front?
Sound Front,
I
Sound
mean, I'm
Front,
just looking at some past emails
Sound
that I
Front,
got here.
Southport.
No, I mean, look, if I'm anywhere close to you, I'll have to come over and
Like Corolla Bay.
yeah, if
So
I'm
you're going
anywhere
to,
close to you, I'll have to come over and film for the day.
yeah.
For half
So
a day.
I think you're on the Outer Banks there in
Yeah,
Corolla.
I'm down that way. Is
Yeah.
that
So
are you far?
that's about 4 hours.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so probably won't then.
Yeah, that's a beautiful area there.
Yeah,
Actually, everybody always, the Outer Banks is always it's pretty cool.
yeah.
I do recommend you guys take a day and just go down to Ocracoke Island, which is
Okay.
really cool. Got to take a ferry over there. There's only 2 ways to get there, by boat or plane, or I guess you can swim if you want, but I wouldn't do that. But really cool place. Blackbeard used to be where Blackbeard hung out.
Oh, no.
Teach's Corner, yeah. What's his name? Howard Teach was his name, yeah. Blackbeard. And so that's where he liked to hang out. They say he died there, around in that area, and real cool place.
Cool.
But
You know, we're in the next phase here now because my daughter, who's 31, maybe, just had a baby. My nieces just had babies. So we're in that next phase now of now we're going to get the North Carolina place and go with the family, the new family. It's going to start the new the new tradition. This is all the stuff that Hussey's got to look forward to in another 15 years or so.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy to think about that. Yeah. But certainly let me know where you're at.
Yeah, well,
might have
for
some
sure.
time. You never know. I might even be. We go out there. We don't go to the Outer Banks. We go south of there, but still on North Carolina coast as well.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
yeah.
No doubt.
We're about to wrap this up. Got one little segment. I thought this would be pretty cool. I always enjoy these whenever I listen to things. It's like a little rapid fire questions, just things of, what maybe comes to mind from Tommy. So question number 1, sweet or savory?
Sweet.
You're a sweet tooth, huh? You like sweet tooth?
Yeah,
Dang.
100%.
I thought you were savory.
No, sweet all the way.
I missed one. Okay. Favorite griddle recipe so far?
Well, we'd have to go to the Molly.
Molly. I figured that was what it was. I did think that one.
Mm-hmm.
What is one tool or gadget that you cannot live without?
God, can I say my coffee machine, K-cup machine?
You can say whatever. This is
gotten so used to a K-cup that would be kind of hard living without now. Making a pot of coffee seems.
What about with cooking, with content crew, or just cooking? What's one thing like? Well, I don't want to say anything to sway your mind. So one device that during your cooking you couldn't live without.
We get spoiled with all these new devices like thermometers and stuff like that. But if I didn't have that stuff, the old technique, this is medium rare. That's the restaurant. So in the restaurants, you would touch things and know if they're done. What's one device for cooking? I'm going to draw a blank there because I don't think I need anything that I use. What are some good answers? I can't think of an answer.
I mean, to be honest, for me, I live and die by my instant read thermometer. Now, I do that. I can do that. I'm an old school charbroiler guy. I did random broiler. And we did steaks, chicken, and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes, if you're cooking a sirloin versus a tenderloin, that's got different resistance to it, man. A prime tenderloin, that thing's got a lot of squish to it, you know.
I use the thermometers a lot on the show just to show people the temperatures. So I would probably say that also.
Yeah, that's mine, and that's been a lot of people. And I get a lot of flack. And I don't have to. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm that guy, but I do like you. You like to show people because everybody has different skill levels.
Yeah.
But that's one thing because if I'm doing chicken, I'm really not hitting 165. I'm pulling that chicken at like 155.
We all pulled the chicken and cut it to see it was still pink in the middle before all these fancy gadgets, right? And then you put it back on the grill. Everybody's done that.
Yeah. So. But it also helps those folks that are scared of pork, especially the boomers. Like I bet your family, because of trichinosis was bad in pork, they cooked some pork to death.
Oh my God.
No
doubt.
Pork, you can't cook it to death. It's so lean. No. And then chicken too. People are scared of salmonella, but yeah, that's always my answer. But
I'll go with that. I would go with that.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of
tongs. I was going to say tongs because that was one of the things that I used back in the day in the restaurant days that I'm just so used to using tongs.
Yeah. I like tongs as well. a good spatula. Everybody likes different spatulas. I'm a flexi spatula guy. Are you? What do you like?
To tell you the truth, man, a Blackstone I like a basic spatula. Halo sent me some spatulas that they had made, and they're too friggin' heavy. They're too
Yeah,
fancy.
I don't
They're
like the
just
rigid ones. I like
awkward, man.
I like the. I bet you you're talking about the same Blackstone spatulas that I like, and that's the original OG
Yeah,
ones. It's got the
yeah,
flame. One of them has a
yeah. With
solid, the other has a flame.
yeah,
It's got bend to it, and I
yep.
like it.
I
I
still
love it.
use my original spatulas from
Yep,
friggin' 6, 7 years ago. Same
yep.
exact two. Yep.
Now they have these one spatulas, and I'm not gushing over this because I work for Blackstone, but I just love it. I mean, I tell you the exact truth. But they have these shorties. They're shorter, but they're also got some flex to them, and they're light. Love those things to death, and I just like the way you can maneuver in and out a lot better than a longer. I don't
Hmm.
know what that distant. I don't know what they call that, but tang. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I just talked a lot about a lot of craziness there.
I gotcha.
But yeah, spatula too, it's like a knife. It's something you gotta hold and you gotta be comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if you're working it for a long time, you as a griddle cook, for back to it's you start to get some fatigue,
Yeah. A
So you
spatula
gotta
you
have
can't, and
something.
a griddle definitely can't do without
Yep,
the
yep.
spatula.
You need one that you can definitely maneuver in and out real well. Last of this little rapid fire, if you could griddle for any celebrity, who would it be?
Griddle for any celebrity. I met well, I interviewed Steven Reichland. Okay, I don't even know if you know him. He's
I do know. I know. I
okay.
watch his
So
show
so
all the
I
time
in
on our
yeah,
PBS channel. Yeah.
and I met. He's on my wall here. Rocco DeSpirito.
Yeah. Who's he?
Okay, but if I can griddle for any celebrity,
Just take me off of this now. Me excluded. All right.
I don't know. I mean,
You're a music guy, right? Aren't you?
I am a music guy.
I mean, could it be like Sammy
Freddie,
Hagar or
well, Fred, no, no, no. I actually made a recipe of Sammy Hagar's. So my guy is Freddie Mercury.
yeah,
That's my guy. Matter of
yeah.
fact, if
It could
if
be dead or alive too.
yeah,
I mean,
so
it could be
probably
ill.
Freddie Mercury. If I move this camera, you're gonna see him right there.
Yeah,
See him?
yeah.
Now, do you
I
even
do.
know who Freddie Mercury is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah. I don't know why I want to say Eagles, but not the Eagles, but yeah,
Queen.
Queen. Yes, I
Yeah,
keep on. I knew it wasn't the Eagles, but I
yeah.
kept on wanting to go there.
So probably Freddie Mercury. I mean, he's. Bear with me here. He's the only rock star that I've ever really, you know, loved. I mean, I've named my cat, one cat Freddie, the other cat Mercury. I've
That's cool.
seen
Yeah,
Queen many times. I'm a big Queen fan. So definitely, if I could meet one celebrity, cook for one celebrity, that would
yeah.
probably be Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
There
Good
you go.
answer. Yeah, I like it. Well, got a few closing thoughts here. We're going to wrap this up. I got two points here. Number one point, advice for new creators or just any advice. Advice from Tommy.
Great
And
question.
then last, we need to know where to find you.
Okay, so we covered a lot of my advice: positive mental attitude, be happy, get out, get up in the morning with a friggin' purpose. Those again, a big Wayne Dyer person, Abraham Hicks, meditation, but although I don't anymore, just wake up with a purpose. Wake up with a purpose. On my mother, you have never met a more happier person at friggin' 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning than me. When I wake up in the morning, first of all, I've lost probably 60% of my friends. They're all gone, So there is not a happier person in the morning, and I don't talk it. I actually live it, you
Yeah.
know. That's my advice for any person that may be watching this, is to wake up with a purpose. And as far as content creation, I can only speak of cooking. Okay, that if you are, because if you're like a chick, with blonde hair and you're 20, you can shake your butt and make money. So I can't even speak on that. So there's all kinds of different content creators
Yeah.
out there, but only in the cooking. If you have a passion for cooking, because I run across people all the time and they say, God, I was thinking about doing that. I love to cook. So my only advice is just get ready for the battle. Get ready for the battle. You're about ready to go to war, and just stick at it and make sure you have fun.
Yeah.
Always try to improve your content creating. Always try to improve what you're doing. If you're starting with a cell phone, you shouldn't be still using a cell phone in a year later. You got
Right.
to have
Yeah.
cameras, you got to have better sound. And just it all ties in with the get up in the morning with a purpose. If you're a negative Nilly, don't even think about content creating, because
Yeah.
it's probably not going to work anyway.
Yeah.
That's probably
Going
my
going
best
into it
advice.
when a negative mindset is
No.
not a good recipe for success.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is a grind. This is a grind. There's it's not it's not by accident that I'm here right now talking to you on this podcast. It's not by accident. It's all the way. It's how it has it's meant to be this.
Yeah.
Um, by your work and my work have taken us to this area. Now, if Hussey 4 or 5 years ago never picked up his camera, we would never be here. If Hussey never started cooking on a griddle, we would never be here, because your direction would have been taken somewhere else. It's really all in the decisions, and everyone really is where they're supposed to be, whether you
Yeah.
believe that or not.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. You make is a
start
valid
thinking
point.
that way.
Yeah.
Those are my general content creators and life lessons, whatever. And
Very
again,
good.
I'm not an angel. Uh, I don't go to church. I'm not that guy. I'm just a positive thinker, and so you don't have to be that guy. Hussey's that guy. I'm not that guy, but we're both the same. Because I believe you live the same way. I see you around your kids on video. You bring your kids up right. It's how you live your life, because that's how your kids are going to live also.
Yeah. Very good advice. Very sage advice for sure. Yeah. And I see, your mentality all the time. You're always giving. You're always there for anybody. Whenever I've texted you, you've always texted me back.
Yeah.
You're coming to me, telling me how I can make more money, possibly.
Right. And you're the man, and I'm giving you advice.
I mean, hey, I mean, what that says a lot for you.
Yeah.
You just want to see somebody else succeed, and
Sure.
you don't get that very often, especially in this, creator stage. A lot of people want to keep things close to their chest. People want to.
There's some backstabbing going on.
There is some backstabbing, but I've never gotten that with you.
No, I've disconnected from all that.
So and I a lot of times I stay in my lane. I don't really pay much attention to folks.
No.
I probably should watch more. I probably should watch your videos more. I don't get a chance to whenever I'm constantly pushing to the system instead of viewing, or taking in. But
sometimes we have to mellow out on what we watch, because we don't want to plagiarize without even knowing that we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't sit there and watch, Hussey or FTK too much anymore. Like I said, I'll flick it on a TikTok. I'll get a recipe idea. Then I'll go to YouTube and say, who did it? Because obviously it's been done,
Yeah.
so I'll see who did it, and then I'll just start making it different from that.
Sure.
And then if I feel like I took too much from it, I'll mention that person, like I did you on that one video. Otherwise, because you can't mention everybody. I saw this on TikTok, then I went to YouTube and saw this. You can't do that on every video. So, it is what it is.
And somebody there in there telling somebody did it way before internet was even
It's food.
Yeah,
it's all been done.
Absolutely.
It's all been done.
Great advice there. So let's make sure we know whoever's listening knows where they can find you.
Okay, so my email. I'm 24/7 creator. If anybody has any questions or whatever, gallerybbq@gmail.com, right? Or you could find me on Facebook at the Gallery Backyard Barbecue. You could find me on Instagram, TikTok at the same Gallery Backyard Barbecue, YouTube, Gallery Backyard Barbecue, or, which I would appreciate it more, is the YouTube License to Griddle. Okay,
License to Griddle.
License to Griddle. That is, where it is happening right now for me. And that's really it. And that's it.
I'll be sure to have links down below too. But right before this airs, I'll make sure I get those right from you, Tommy.
And you'll reach out before this airs, I guess?
Yep.
This will air on your YouTube channel?
Yes, I'm going to go YouTube and then probably, Apple, Spotify and all that too. It'd be audio only, for those. So yeah.
All right, cool.
But I'm making this mostly for YouTube. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Well, Tommy, I appreciate you coming in and chewing the fat with us.
A lot of fun, man.
Man, it was a good conversation.
Quick 2 hours. Quick 2 hours.
Was it 2 hours? Yeah, sure is. 2 hours, and
I didn't quite touch CJ's time. I'm sure we can go longer, but if you,
you got to go somewhere right here in a minute, right?
I have a lab at my feet, and trust me, she knows it's 1 o'clock, and she knows it's time to eat. You see her in the back; she's getting antsy because she wants to be fed.
I don't want to withhold anything from her for sure. Yeah. Well, listen. That wraps us excuse me. That wraps up our episode of Chewing the Fat with the Hungry Hussey with Tommy from Backyard Barbecue, or Get the Gallery Backyard Barbecue and License to Griddle. Want to say, please give us a thumbs up, give us a comment on this episode, and interact with me a little bit. Comment section down below. Would love to hear from you. Until next time, folks, I'm Hungry Hussey. I'll see you next time. You stop that.